Are we live?
There, I'm back. Did I freeze up? Yeah, I froze up.
Okay, yeah, you were frozen
Yeah,
for
I'm
a
back.
second. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, props to me, by the way, because Dennis was hammering some Bud Lights today. I did have 2, but I was like, I got business to take care of here at 7 o'clock. I got to be fresh.
Nice.
So I started mixing in some waters, and he was getting angry with me. He's like, perfect day out to be day drinking. He's like, what are you doing?
So what's Dennis doing now? Is Dennis crippled?
No, I think he's on like beer 5, but he's onto tequila and making margaritas up there.
Oh,
so
it's going to be a wild one if Dennis keeps that one up.
It's going to be kind of a Twitch kind of night, playing some Madden, getting some. We had some epic battles last night, and he actually beat me in overtime with the Jets, which is something I got to get over.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, were you guys playing NHL or Madden?
We were switching back and forth.
How did NHL go? Because that always interests me.
Yeah, NHL. Yeah, he was getting very angry because I was talking some heavy garbage last night, but he ended up beating me in overtime too.
All in his
overtime
dome.
Wins for Dennis, but good thing the cameras are off.
All in his dome.
All right, let's jump into some talk here. So, what do you want to lead off with some Jalen Hurts to the Eagles in the second round talk, because I feel like you're pretty passionate about this pick here.
Yeah, it was that was just a weird pick to me. That was just everything about that was just so strange, and I felt like with the Jalen Reagor pick, they did a good job of addressing a position of need, and then they go and they take Jalen Hurts, and it was just like, dude, what just happened? You guys were on such a good path, and then we just completely veered off. What's up, Jack Kelly hopping in? So I just thought it was such a strange pick for the Eagles to make, and it was nowhere near as like, I don't even want to say vulgar, but as like offensive as like the Rodgers situation.
Yeah.
But that I just thought it was strange because it was like, you clearly don't believe in Carson Wentz to be healthy enough for a full season, because Jalen Hurts isn't going to move and play receiver. Like, did you get that same vibe, or like, what'd you think?
The more that I kind of dig into it, the more that I honestly liked it, to be completely frank with you, because so I really do think that there's like this political thing that goes on with these quarterbacks pre-draft. And I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than what the public was giving him credit for. And I think he may be a better quarterback than Herbert, in my opinion.
Wow.
After watching some of his film, kind of compiling a bunch of different opinions on him, and kind of paired with that, I think he's a really good decision maker. His decision making got better with each year that he played. He improved every year that he played. Big character guy. You got to love the way that he handled the Alabama situation.
Love his character.
He's a dude that you do want in the building. And let me ask you this question. Yes, you like Carson Wentz. Everybody should like Carson Wentz. But how often do you think he's going to be playing in these games? Because he's
really good
injury problems.
Carson Wentz has yet to like make a run with the Eagles.
Yep.
He's like, legitimately, he's yet to be like the guy in the playoffs for the Eagles. And you have no idea whether or not he's going to be healthy. So from that aspect of it, I love the pick. You know what I mean? It's tough to argue that, like, you need the depth, but at the same time, like, your secondary needs work. Your receiving core still could use some help. I just thought that part of it was strange. Like, is that really like that high of a need for you? But I mean, I guess when you think about it, both times that they've made a run in the playoffs, everything else has kind of been in place except for the quarterback position. And then, you know, Foles obviously steps up in one situation. And then last year, I think Wentz was healthy, but who knows how long that, like you said, who knows how long that's going to last. But Hurts seems like Hurts seems like a good dude. Like, his character seems so cool. Like, the way he handled the whole Alabama situation with like the clear, like, hey man, like, you're not going to get the starting time here, which happens to, dude, how many like 5-star quarterbacks end up going to, like, dude, at A&M had Johnny Manziel, Kyler Murray, and Kyle Allen all on the roster at one point, all on the depth chart. And like, at some point in the coach's office, Kyler Murray and Kyle Allen got sat down and they were like, hey, like, you're not going to be it for us this year. And so they end up transferring, and Kyler obviously goes to Oklahoma and crushes it at Oklahoma. Kyle Allen, I don't even remember where he transferred to, but it's just, I think it was very mature of Jalen Hurts to like, and to not speak bad about it. I think that's another problem, especially these days with social media. You know how easy it is for Jalen Hurts to have blown up the Alabama situation, but he did.
Oh,
just
for
kept
sure.
working, kept grinding.
And I think that's what I really like about him, and just the fact that he continued to improve every single year. I think is I don't know. I think he's an attractive quarterback, and I know a lot of people thought he was going to dive down into the third round, but
I thought
the
so
more
for sure.
yeah, but the more I don't know, the more film that I kept watching on him, I thought he made some really good decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I like the pick. I know you really didn't like the pick though.
I didn't hate it. It wasn't like the Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers situation where like that's a pick that I'm like, I hate that pick. That was just a bad pick in my opinion. I understand the thought process with the Jalen Hurts situation. Like I understand the thought process being like not a bad idea to snag a quarterback. But at the same time, I look at it from like an Eagles perspective or fan perspective almost, and you're like, dude, there's other ways that we could have gone with this. I'm sure that there was other guys on the board who could have been drafted who could have helped this team win right now. And with the Hurts situation, it's the same thing with Rodgers in the sense of if our starting quarterback isn't injured, then is this guy helping us win a game every single week? Which, at face value, it doesn't.
Dude, I really quite like over the past couple of years, especially this last year, since you've been kind of getting me into evaluating and watching film a little bit more and kind of generating my own opinions instead of listening to other people's opinions. I do you think that plays that these opinions build, and do you think NFL teams ever listen to the hype or listen to, I guess,
to like
not what the media is driving? I think Cam froze up, but basically what my question is does the media drive a narrative, or do coaches start to drive narrative and other coaches and other teams start to kind of grasp onto that? And the way that I think about all this is that when people are evaluating Wentz and they're comparing Wentz to, there, you back? You back?
We back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear everything I was saying?
No, everything went black for me.
Okay. So basically, do you
think wild first?
Damn, he's frozen again. Son of a bitch. All right. So basically the point that I'm trying to make here is that I really think when people are evaluating quarterbacks, when they compare Wentz to somebody like, Tannehill, even, a lot of fans are always saying stuff like, I would rather have Tannehill than Wentz. I've heard that multiple times because of the injury situation. All right, let's take him out and put it back in, see if that works. Still blacked out. We lost like 20 viewers too. So I don't know if I'm frozen for everybody here. We frozen for everybody? Cam's got that dial-up internet. But anyways, that's the point that I was trying to make. I think that's really interesting. I think people build opinions around these quarterbacks, and I don't know. I don't know if it's worth listening to, because I do think Jalen Hurts is an underrated quarterback. So
okay, we're back.
Okay, we're back.
Dude,
we lost like 12 viewers there. Oh, there's back up to 12. I don't know if that's my computer or yours.
I think it was mine. My sorry guys. All right.
Thanks, Ryan, by the way.
I was gonna say, Ryan, what's going on, man? Thanks for the support.
So I already kind of made my point. I just think I'm really curious about the snowball effect when people get high on a certain player.
Oh, yes. No, I wanted to talk about this because this is a really interesting point. So your question was essentially, does people inside the building listen to the media hype outside of it, essentially, right?
I wouldn't say media, but, I think it's the reason why Belichick didn't tip his hand on Kyle Duggar. I think there's aspects in the other end of that spectrum where teams will, whether it's a dumb GM or a dumb owner, will say, oh, this team or the media likes this guy, there must be something to that. And then he kind of catches more juice, right? And he moves up and around.
Yeah, I definitely think there's something to that in the sense of, especially with a dude like Belichick. Like, how many times has like Jamie Collins, dude, nobody knew who Jamie Collins was coming out of college. Nobody knew who this kid was from Southern Mississippi State or Southern Mississippi University, whichever it was. Same thing with like Malcolm Butler, undrafted guy, Jonathan Jones, undrafted guy, JC Jackson, undrafted guy. Like, especially like if Belichick is like scouting a dude and he's on a guy, especially like early, dude, I guarantee you every team in that sense, absolutely. I think teams listen, but not necessarily in the sense of like, if you're the number 4 overall pick and every mock draft guy is mocking you a tackle, that doesn't necessarily mean that team's in love with a tackle. That's just what those guys think.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a lot of dudes that were, I follow a lot of guys on YouTube that are similar to you, and they spoke really highly of Hurts. And there's one guy saying Hurts is probably the third best quarterback in this draft, and he was saying that a lot of things that I guess the media does and a lot of coaches do is they focus on some of the negatives. And it seems like, so look at Jordan Love. It's like almost like he's quote unquote underrated, so they focus on only the good things that he does. And then with Jalen Hurts, it's like, do they focus on too much of the negatives with Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, so that's actually something super interesting when you look at like I'm pretty sure it was Baker who was talking about when he was coming out, and he was saying like, dude, like going into the draft, pre-draft workouts, anything that an analyst or a coach can find negative about you is going to get brought up. That entire process is such a negative process. Like, no, and especially in the media, look at Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd, like, literally, it's a joke now how much that guy hates Baker Mayfield. That's all because of the pre-draft stuff. That's not because like him and Baker met at a bar one time and Baker was like, "You're an asshole." Like that. No, It's literally like pre-draft stuff. Everybody wants to be negative pre-draft, and it like I get it from an NFL standpoint, like as a scout, as a GM, because that dude's an investment. Like I'm investing X amount of dollars into you to go win me football games. So I'm going to try and find everything wrong. But not necessarily when it comes to like I don't necessarily understand that when it comes to the media side of things. That's why like when I'm doing my pre-draft stuff, like yeah, I'll talk about if a dude like isn't the greatest player, if he has some flaws, but I'm not going to dwell on it for half of my breakdown. I want to talk about what this kid can do well. I want to talk about what he can bring to a football team.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't even know if I answered your question.
I know in a way.
You're frozen again.
So okay, I'm back.
Okay.
All right, this is a trash stream this time.
I know, dude.
We just keep trading off how many times we're being frozen here.
Oh man.
We're gonna have to go direct to Ethernet cable, but I don't know. I think there is a little bit of a snowball effect, in my opinion, and just that Jalen Hurts got his job taken away from him, even though it was Tua, the number 2 quarterback.
So what do you mean by snowball effect? Like with Jalen Hurts, in the sense of him falling in the draft? Do you think that was like a rumor that started, or like what do you mean by snowball effect?
I just think I don't know. I think some of those things that happened to him losing his job, him going to a new school. I think if he was a quarterback, I think it's more attractive if somebody stays at a school and they either win a job and they stay at that school. You say, okay, there's a reason for that. For the same reason that Tom Brady dropped so far in the draft. It's like, why was he not the starting quarterback? And they didn't evaluate him for, even though he didn't have a lot of tangibles. I think they looked at Tom Brady and they're like, well, he didn't win the starting job in a college position.
Yeah.
What's the problem there?
Yeah, and there's a number of ways to look at it, and the Brady example I think is really a great example for how people evaluate like film and a player as an individual, because I think that a lot of times in the NFL, especially back then, there was so much of an investment in combine, individual attributes, speed, agility, all that stuff, which is very, very important. Don't get me wrong, but especially at the quarterback position. Dude, decision making and being able to keep your composure and your poise under pressure, that to me speaks more volumes than can this dude run a sub 5 second 40. That to me speaks more volumes than can he hit, can he throw an 80-yard bomb in shorts? Like I want to see, like when you look at Brady's film from college, Brady time in and time out, like Sophia's making popcorn in the middle of this. If you guys hear the microwave going, sorry. Brady time in and time out in college, like big time games against Penn State, Michigan State down 14, Penn State tie ball game going into like with a minute left, and like time and time again, he like led his team to victory, like made the throws he needed to make, whether you think they're checkdowns or not, which I hate that excuse. But like, look at this kid. This isn't a kid that you look at and go 20th overall, I'm taking him. No, not a chance. Like this, like they say in the Brady 6, I'd be shocked if this guy ever saw a weight room. But when it came down to winning football games and to the last 2 minutes of the game, like there's only one dude you trust, and it's 12. So in that sense, yeah, I do think that there is a little bit of like what you call a snowball effect, and like you have written, is the pre-draft process broken? I personally think it is. Yeah, I think that there's a little bit of it that that's almost blown up, and part of it's the media. Like in the middle of March, there's no football on. Of course, you're going to pump up the combine and the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm with most of that. I just think it's really interesting, and I think Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback. I think that's the only point that I was trying to make, and I think he was a little undervalued going into this draft.
How I have a question for you. How important do you think it is to have a quote unquote winner as your quarterback? Like if you look at a dude, like let's say, what's up, Luke? Thanks for rolling through. If you have a quarterback, let's say that you like Jordan Love's a good example, right? Jordan Love never really, his team was never top. I don't think his team was ever top 25. He never really lit up the stat sheet. But like you look at he's got a phenomenal, his throwing motion's smooth as butter. Like his throwing motion's sick. He can hit any throw.
Yeah.
Like, does that mean more to you than Utah State being whatever his record was when he was there? If it was like 500 or below?
I don't know. I mean, I think you weigh out those variables depending on the individual person, but I don't think you can really judge somebody's character. I don't think you can look at Tua and really judge his character, in my opinion, because I mean,
really
how much
dealt with hard, like dude's won every game.
Yeah, I think when personal things go wrong for somebody, like I think Jalen Hurts has good character because things went as bad as they could have possibly went, and he decided to continue to battle and continue to get better and improve, and go to a school, and he did improve. He focused on getting better, and not everybody's going to do that. Most people probably are not going to do that.
Yeah,
and you look at Johnny Manziel is a terrible example, but it's like, this is the first time he got hit in the mouth, and it was an easy ride for him through college, and then he faced adversity for the first time and kind of crumbled through it.
I think here's a question: because I don't think Jalen Hurts is a second rounder if he doesn't leave Alabama. Like if Tua, let's say that Tua is 3 years later, like let's say Tua's a freshman right now. If Jalen Hurts stays at Alabama, I don't think that he's a second round pick. I think he might go undrafted or like 6th or 7th round. But I don't think what he shows at Alabama and that offense is anywhere near what he did with Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that was the best move for him, was getting out and going to Oklahoma.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
All right. No, I'm with you. But let's talk about tanking for Trevor. Let's talk about tanking for Trevor Lawrence, because this is something that you want to talk about. And this is something that if you go on all these Patriots Facebook groups and Reddit, it drives me absolutely nuts.
For me, I'm not a big Facebook guy. I got off Facebook a while ago. I'm trying to find this picture because I sent you the picture of the one we want to talk about. But I do not understand the draw for the tank for Trevor. I don't understand it. And we kind of hit on it last time we went live. It's just like, is this even a legitimate thought, in your head? And how come all these Instagram pages keep talking about it like it's going to happen? Like this team's going to go 2-14.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand. I understand the thought. This is the only way that I can bring my mind to understand the thought process is that if this team is not going to compete for a championship, you might as well get a quarterback. But the whole thing is you're trying to develop a quarterback with a pretty solid defense and a lot of really good young players. It's like, I think they're still going to compete. And I really still think if they got Andy Dalton, this would be a playoff team that's going to go on a run.
Do you think if Stidham's there that they don't have a shot to go on a run?
I don't know yet. I just don't know yet.
I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, it really depends on. I think I keep saying the first 5 games of the schedule, and I guess that's
a really good point though. Like where they're going to be at through week 5 is going to be really interesting.
Right, because if they go 1-4, it's like, oh, okay, we're in a season where we're just going to be developing Stidham. This is our life now. Right. But at the same time, But at the same time, this season really isn't about the quarterback position at the same time. And we've talked about this. Mm-hmm. The defense is going to have to continue to compete. But we're still talking about Uche. You're going to need somebody like him and Jennings to come in and have some kind of an impact, right? For that to happen. Yeah,
absolutely. That's a really good point, too, is that, obviously the whole Brady leaving captivates this offseason. But, it's going to be tough to replace Kyle Van Noy, Jamie Collins, Danny Shelton's out. You know what I mean? There's a lot of pieces that left, and not necessarily saying that the Patriots didn't do a good job of replacing all of that, but I still don't see this team as we're going to tank and pick up Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the number 1 overall pick. Like,
Yep.
It's difficult to go and tank and like lose. And again, it's everything that I say when we start getting on this situation brings me back to what you said. And it's like, you're going to waste a year of Stephon Gilmore. You're going to waste a year with this secondary with Devin McCourty. You think Devin McCourty is going to want to tank? No, just
Dante Hightower.
No, Dante Hightower. Like it's almost stupid. So I don't know. I think it's a very like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook page. Like, oh, Patriots could tank for Trevor Lawrence, and it's like to people who like know this roster a little bit, I guess, and like know what this team's capable of. You're like, why would you ever? No, that's ridiculous.
I really think it's the casual fan. I think they look at the skill positions only. They don't really even know who's playing offensive line. They have no idea who's playing defense. They don't know the depth of the secondary for the Patriots either. Yeah. So I think they look at just skill players. This is the same thing with just how they're evaluating wide receivers. Everybody who wanted Antonio Brown to come back after all that stuff went down, they think that one player is going to make a humongous difference and kind of take them over the top. But you can't ignore the offensive line problems that we had when everybody got hurt. It's like you need those guys. You can't play with a practice squad. Even if you have AB out there, you just can't do it. Tom Brady needed the protection. And 100%. Also, I mean, you needed Devlin. All those injuries were too much.
Yeah. I mean, so like I kind of think about it and it's like if Devlin and Andrews are playing, like this team's completely different. Like not even a Gronk or AB or Josh Gordon, like 100% Josh Gordon. If Devlin and Andrews are playing, this team is 100% different. Like, AFC Championship game, possibly Super Bowl again, different.
Eric thinks we make the playoffs right now.
I wouldn't disagree with it.
Still here? Am I gone?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, well.
Maybe Eric's not good. It's just him and I bouncing back and forth with the bad connection right now. Thanks for sticking around if you're still here. I just don't see the tank for Trevor Lawrence thing. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not even sold he's going to be like a legitimate stud in the NFL, to be honest. There's still a lot of question marks for me with big Trevor Lawrence. Horrible. Blue hen, horrible. What's horrible, Blue hen? Let me know. Now it's just me. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully Eric can get back in here because I'm not great at staring at a camera and talking. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that Trevor Lawrence is a legitimate possibility? Eric's back, thank God.
I don't know what's going on. This is just a nightmare today.
It's unreal.
Whatever. We still got some good people. We'll keep it going.
Keep it going. Blue Hen 123 just said horrible, and I was like, oh God. Yeah. What's horrible? The connection.
He's talking about. Yeah, it's got to be. I don't know if it's on my end, but whatever. But all right. So I think we're both on the same page with tanking for Trevor, which is just
ridiculous. A very Instagram
crazy talk.
Screen grab. Very 2-minute drill Instagram, if you catch my drift. You're picking up what I'm putting down, a little ride the wave.
Yeah. Seeing him in a Patriots jersey does get the juices going, though. I'm not going to deny that.
It would be
gets
sick.
The juices flowing.
It's like if I saw Joe Burrow jersey swap with the Pats, dude, forget about it.
There's watching no doubt Joe in your
Burrow
mind
film all night.
He's going to be a number 1 pick no matter what, Trevor.
I mean, dude, like last year at this time, or was it 2 years ago? People said Jake Fromm was going to be the number 1 overall pick. We have no idea what's going to happen. Like, and anybody who says Trevor Lawrence is going to be the number 1 overall, dude, you're a clown. You have no idea what's going to happen in this season. You have no idea. If nothing let me put it this way: if nothing happens, if let's say there's no college football season, pray to sweet baby Jesus that it does happen.
Yeah,
I would say he's top 3 for sure. But even then, I'm not 100% sure that he's number 1.
Who knows?
Absolute
stud for being 19 years old and handling that championship game or championship run for that matter. I mean, being that young.
The kid delivers time and time again. And even I try to find reasons to be like, like I don't know, I'm not sold on him, but it's like in every big game he's ever been a part of, the kid just delivers every single time. Even at like Ohio State, he's taking a quarterback draw 70 to the house. Unreal.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's talk about some Patriots draft picks. We already did the first. We went the first 6.
Eric with 2 R's really quick. I want to acknowledge I root for Detroit Lions fan. Detroit's my NFC team, by the way. Luke G and the DSA boys. They molded me to be a Detroit fan.
They kind of did adopt you in a little bit, in a way. I feel like
I love those guys.
I'm a little bit worried to lose you to the Lions fan base.
I'm watching every Detroit Lions game I can next year. Every single one.
Love it.
He says root for Detroit, but your defense and run game will take you to the playoffs. Patriots taxi Cuber. What's good, dude? You comment on all my Pats Madden videos. It's coming out soon, dude. I promise. I gotta actually play the game. Been a little bit busy, so I gotta play the game. All right, we can chill with the chat now. I'm gonna do it. I gotta actually play it. Let's.
I think it's a glitch.
You think it's not okay?
It's on our end.
Yeah. Oh, is it just once on the chat? No, it's like 3 times on the chat.
I got it.
Thank you, though. Yeah, it'll come out soon, buddy. I promise. You could. I know that you like it, so I'll make sure to get that thing going. It'll be ready to go by next week. Promise.
That's so funny. When I was, I actually had that same idea too. The Patriots season, I should have known Cam was doing it.
Eric's like, and Eric's gone again. Great. Eric had this idea. He's like, you know what I'm going to do? He's like, I'm going to do the Pats next season.
All right, I'm buying an Ethernet cable right after we're done, like a 400-foot Ethernet cable. This thing is going to go directly into the
dude. We're never losing connection again. Yeah, Evan, I promise I'll get those things going next week. I'm glad people like them. I thought people would hate those, but hey, man, those are
the Patriots playing out the Patriots games.
Yeah, people love that stuff.
It's a really good concept. I mean,
dude, we play Tua next. Tua in Miami.
Who you got quarterbacking?
From. I drafted From. Have you never seen a video? Like
you put out content. I watched the film videos. And then I watched the USA Jags.
USA Jags, baby. Go Jags.
Big Jag fan over here. Jags. I've seen a lot of those. You don't live stream those, do you? The Patriot games?
I'm thinking about live streaming them for the playoffs, but telling Jackson so that he can tell people. And then I think I'm going to live stream them for the playoffs. I think that would be sick.
That's why I don't see him, because you don't live stream him. That's when I get the noties.
That's true.
So, all right, let's break down some Patriots draft picks here. We're going deep.
Only a couple more.
A couple more. I don't know if you guys have heard of a guy named Bill Belichick, but he finds some pretty good value in the deep rounds. We found some good guys down there. So, do you think? For some reason, I don't think the value is there this year. That's just my opinion. And we're going to dive into these.
Yeah, I'm not super fired up about any of the late round guys. I think we left off on Keene. And after Keene was who was after Keene?
Kicker.
I feel like an idiot now. Oh, the kicker. Rohrwasser. Dude, that kid's a stud though.
Yeah.
That kid,
I was watching some videos on him. He was banging some 61, 62-yard field goals. He had a game winner against like Western Kentucky. I don't know if that really means anything, but he's got some brass, you know what? And he looked good from what I saw.
Can ice. If he's got ice in his vase, can ice. So I'm fired up to see what he can do. And then who'd they pick? Who'd they pick after that? We got to look that up.
Well, we might as well talk about what caught the news there, but just really quickly. I don't want to.
You touch on it. That's your thing. You touch on it.
What are you gonna? Are you basically calling me like an Instagram? You're gonna call me an Instagram guy?
No, because I know what you want to do. I know you want to clip this. I know you want to put it in a clip and throw it on the Couch Coach's IG. I don't blame you.
No, I don't. It gets the most eyeballs for sure, because when you bring politics into it, I don't know exactly what the tattoo meant. I posted that whole thing, but it had like the 3, and I think they stand for like guns or like First Amendment type stuff.
Like 3%ers, which is like a very anti-federal government. They're small. They're small government people. They don't want the government intervening with anything they do. And like, there's big government people who like government regulations, and then there's small government people who don't like government regulations. He tends to be a small government guy, I think he said he got the tattoo when he was a young buck, like 18, didn't know what it meant. Not that not wanting the government in your business is a bad thing anyway, but
yeah, I mean,
I think dude just got roasted for it. But I mean, you should know what it means before you get tattoos of it. But somehow that morphed into a white supremacist thing, which isn't at all what it really stands for.
See, I think what the problem is I think when you read what that tattoo was all about, like there's nothing wrong with wanting less government, but I feel like it's one of those things like when you go and look up what the KKK means, it's like we're just about family, friends, and like you know what I mean. Like I'm not sure if I'm not sure if like the 3%ers are actually like a racial group or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know.
From what I looked up, they're very anti-federal government, and that's like their big thing. To be honest, I have no idea where the racial part of it came from. Maybe that's somewhere in there that I didn't see. I don't know, but to me, I didn't see anything that I didn't see that at all. But that's just me.
So what I mean, I think the pick and kind of the news about this offseason too was, I mean, Gostkowski is our all-time leader in points.
Dude, even he's gone. It's like this team is going to look so different.
Yeah, all-time leader for the Patriots. It's so weird because Sneaky was around. It feels like he was around for like 5 years. It doesn't seem like it has been that long. But I mean, he took over for Vinatieri essentially. He's been around forever.
Yeah, he was the next dude for sure.
Yeah,
Devin 99, what's good, dog? Thanks for hopping in, man.
Side note, I mean, he's got dead cap money for the Patriots for $1.4 million. I did not know that with Gostkowski.
Does.
But I mean, I don't know if that hip injury was just a little bit too much, but I think what was he due this year? Was it like $3 or $4 million?
Gostkowski, I don't know. I don't know what Gostkowski was due.
Oh yeah, Bears declined Trubisky today. That option.
They turned down his 5th year.
Yeah, that just happened. So
well, it's probably
like they're over that.
Extreme Kane, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky was the wrong decision, and I'm sorry to tell you that. But when you look at that draft class is, first off, that draft class, you want to talk about, this actually ties in really well, Eric, to what we were talking about, and is the pre-draft process for quarterbacks broken? Mitch Trubisky and that whole draft class is very interesting because that was a couple of years ago. I'm going to look up that draft class because obviously that was Deshaun Watson, that was Patrick Mahomes.
Weren't they selected like 10 and 15, 10 and 14, something like that?
Mitch Trubisky, you're going to lose your mind because I forgot about that too.
Well, he was 2. They traded up to 2.
Mitch Trubisky was the 2nd overall pick.
Yeah.
Okay. These are the next 5 players taken after him. Solomon Thomas, Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette at 4 is absurd. Corey Davis at 5 is absurd. Jamal Adams at 6 kind of makes sense. Dude, Christian McCaffrey went 8. Mahomes went 10th. Deshaun Watson went 12. I mean, this draft class was loaded, but just insane that he dropped that far. Dalvin Cook was taken in the 2nd round.
I liked your film breakdown of Trubisky when you were talking about some of the problems. Didn't he have problems throwing to one side of the field, or he's got a weakness to one side?
The kid can't throw to his left. It's so weird. Dude, and you know what, Extreme Kane, I was a Mitch believer too. I wanted to believe in Mitch. Yeah, I wanted to believe that he could play. You're back.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, and to Extreme, like your Bears are never going to live down the fact that Deshaun and Mahomes were on the board. But what we just talked about, like, is the pre-draft process for quarterbacks broken? I personally think it is, because I think that the emphasis for what makes a good quarterback is placed on the wrong areas. Like, to me, it's all about game time decisions, all about decision making, and then looking at what kind of offense that kid was in and can he make that transition. For Mitch, it's pretty clear that he can't. Mahomes can do it because he can throw the football anywhere. Deshaun's such a freak athlete, and he's played in the biggest moments, game in and game out in college. He can play. Like, dude, Deshaun Watson ripped Alabama's defense not once but twice for 400 yards. Unreal.
Yeah. How do you think Patrick Mahomes would have done in Chicago with that team?
I think he would have tore it up, but I don't think it would have been to the level that he's at with Andy Reid. Like, we got to understand that, like, the Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes mesh is like the Brady Belichick mesh. Because like Andy Reid's one of the best play callers that I think the NFL has ever seen, in my opinion. Andy Reid is a phenomenal play caller, and the way he schemes everything up. And Eric Bieniemy, who's their offensive coordinator in Kansas City, another phenomenal play caller. So you have like this really interesting meeting of the minds, and then you got this quarterback who can throw the ball 80 yards on a dime, like no question. And you look at that play in the Super Bowl, the chip Y wasp or whatever, like whatever they want to like make a big deal out of that one play call. That play call was literally like you have to have 5 seconds in the pocket. You have to have 5 seconds in the pocket to get that ball off for that route to develop and for you to like the Chiefs are running like coverage beaters, like cover 3 beaters, but 45 yards downfield. Like teams don't do that. You don't run a cover 2 beater, but you're going to throw the ball at 45 yards. Like that just doesn't happen. Like, and it really doesn't matter like what kind of, like if you're running cover 1, that's why Belichick does so well against them, because he mixes up coverages a lot and he sends a lot at him front wise, so that offensive line has to prepare just as much as Mahomes does. And he threw a lot of cover 2 at him this year. And it's like, we're going to force you to try and dink and dunk on this thing, because everything deep isn't going to look like it's open, and we're going to bracket anything deep that you think is open, because we know that you're trying to push the ball to one guy. We know you're going to, because there's always going to be one dude who's pushing it deep because he's trying to try and clear out. And for most other quarterbacks, that guy is not in the picture, but for Patrick Mahomes, it is. Like the things that offense does is unlike anything else, and it's not necessarily just because of the scheme, it's also because of Patrick Mahomes' ability. Sorry, that was long-winded.
No, I got into that. I like that. You got to send me that play. I don't know what play you're talking about.
It was the play. They had a third and I remember exactly, a 3rd and 15.
Oh, the deep play to Hill, you mean?
Yeah, so Tyreek Hill ran a post corner, and they were on their own like 20. Right. And he caught it on the Niners like 25 or like
the 3rd and 20 or the 3rd and something, like, 3rd deep.
The Chiefs, like, and this is the thing that everybody says that's like, oh, he doesn't have a deep ball. In the NFL, a deep ball is like 30 yards. Like any quarterback in the league can throw a football 30 yards and have it be on the money. If you're in the league, you can do that. But for Mahomes, like, we're literally talking about pushing a play 40 yards downfield, and like that's where the concept is going to hit. Yeah. And like tackles, that's just crazy. Like bias time, and we're going to get it off. And then on top of that, it'd be different if he was in the pocket and he's like, I can only throw from this spot. This is my launch point. Dude, Mahomes can throw from anywhere. He can roll out of the pocket. He can break the pocket. He can throw to going to his left. Anything's on the board for him. That's why he's so revolutionary as a talent. Anyway,
Extreme Kane. I think we can make the playoffs this year. So I mean, it's funny because one of my really good friends, anytime the Patriots are down in points or somebody scores a touchdown against the points, he's a big Bears fan. I get a text from him talking trash. And I always like to say that Chicago's just cursed. You guys are there's drywall sweats every time the Bears play with my buddy. He punches holes in that thing. And I don't know. I think Chicago's just cursed at this point. But I don't know. You got Foles coming in, right?
Dude, the NFL Extreme, you're going to like this. The NFL is so much more fun when the Bears are good.
Yeah, I agree.
A divisional,
New York too.
Dude, a wild card or divisional game in snowy Soldier Field, like I just got chills thinking about that. That made me want to pack a chaw right now and like sit down and like let's watch some football.
Drink a black coffee, pack a chaw, watch
Soldier Field. Yeah. That gets me. Oh, dude, give me the black coffee in a styrofoam cup. Let me pack a chaw and let's watch some Bears football. Like that gets me fired up, and they better have like a freak middle linebacker. Like that's a staple for the Bears.
Pack a chaw, spit into the black coffee, sip the coffee. Go ahead.
What'd you say?
So pack a chaw, spit into the black coffee, sip the coffee, repeat.
Yeah, like you're gonna get heartburn anyway. What's it matter? I think we can make playoffs this year. Maybe we go late first round QB. Yeah, unless Nick Foles like balls for you. Because if Nick Foles balls out for the Bears, dude, ride him for 3 or 4 years and then draft a Q.
Not gonna lie, I like Nick Foles. I like him.
I like Nick Foles. Smoked the Pats in a Super Bowl, but I like him.
Excited to see what Josh Uche can do. We were talking about that in the last live. Big Uche fans over here. Big upside with him.
Check our little clip. Put out
we got a clip special. We're putting some effort into the small clips.
We're Uche,
not as ready as Jennings, but he's ready to go.
Yeah, I think Uche is going to get some. Uche, is it Uche or Uche? Because that's a question I have. And he's frozen again. I barely even get to see us make playoffs. Bears running, dude. Devin, what? Okay, we can ask Extreme King because he's a Bears fan. What's up with the 13 tight ends on the roster?
Yeah, dude. Is
like
it 13?
A lot of tight ends.
It's at least 10. I don't know if they're exaggerating, but they got a lot of practice squad tight ends for sure.
Tight ends. A lot of tight ends this year.
Yeah, we could ask them about that. Bears running 10 tight end sets this year.
Devin, you cracked me up.
That. Okay, where were we? We were talking about another Patriots draft.
I remember.
We'll also
we were
answer
talking,
questions in between.
What were we talking? We were talking tank for Trevor, which kind of just snowballed, and then we're talking a little bit about the Hurts pre-draft quarterback thing. Oh, because Trubisky came up.
Yeah, we were on. We got to remember. We got to look up current events before we start these podcasts because that just happened like an hour ago. We definitely have to jump on that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. We have to remember to do that. So we were talking about Justin, the kicker, and then we got Michael Onwenu.
Oh, the guard from Michigan. I like this kid. He
6'3".
can move, dude. He's first off, he's massive. He's a big dog, big
dude.
But
6'3", 344.
Yeah, casual. But like you watch some of his tape, he pulls really well. He moves really well. He's actually like one thing that stuck out to me is like when you're blocking, like when you're playing guard, and let's say you're running like inside zone to the right or whatever, and a backer blitzes and it's like last second, it's like tough to come off on that nose tackle or one tech to that backer. He does a really good job of it. Like he's cash coming off to that and hitting that backer. He's done that a couple of times that I saw. He looked really good. His pass pro.
I read something different. I was reading a lot of stuff that he's just basically a phone booth lineman who can't beat people to a point.
Oh, really?
That's what I read a lot of stuff. Yeah,
he's late on. Like he's definitely late, but I thought that he could move pretty well for his. We remember the dude's 340. He's probably going to drop a few pounds in the NFL. I don't think that the Pats are going to want him at 340. They'll probably want him at like 320. But I thought that from the film that I saw, I thought that he moved well. Does he look a little robotic sometimes? Absolutely, but
he's an interior guy, so he's going to be a really good pass protector, right? Like he
better be.
Can absorb a lot of power, and basically that's what everything I read saw. I didn't watch film. I don't watch offensive lineman film like you, but that's what the consensus was.
Well, see, this is a good mix because I don't look at what other people write. I just watch the film.
True. Well, it's good that I'm sprinkling that in a little bit.
Yeah, just to
sprinkle it in. We got to make the Salt Bay meme with all my opinions coming out.
That dude, okay, seriously, that guy apparently has like 30 kids.
Does he?
First off, yeah. Have you heard that?
Have not.
Not big. That guy has like 30 kids, and that dude's got a ton of dough. Karen ball Fortnite.
It's definitely
play Warzone. Not a big Warzone guy.
Nope, never even heard of that.
Chiefs fan. We're just talking about the Chiefs.
Oh Lord. Okay. All right. So Justin Heron. What do you think about him? Offensive
the tackle
from 4-3-0 Wake Forest.
Yeah, so this isn't. I liked both of the offensive linemen that the Pats drafted. I thought that they both have potential. Heron, I liked his feet a lot on his pass pro. I think his set angle wise needs some work. Loved his feet on it though. Quick feet, got decent punch. I think he finishes decently well too for a tackle.
Let up no sacks in 2017. Side note, no sacks.
Yeah, like I loved the way the kid played when I watched this film. I only get to watch one game film because that's all that's on YouTube. Is they have like one game from Wake Forest. I can't even remember who they played. I think they would play like North Carolina or something. But from what I saw, he finished well. He gets a little skinny. Feet get a little too close together when he's driving. But for the most part, I loved his pass set. I thought that his pass set looked good. I liked that about him, and I think there's definitely something there to work with.
Red flags listed for Justin Heron. ACL tear in 2018. Didn't play any games. So something to pay attention to.
Interesting.
Maybe that's why he slipped so deep. But who do you think is going to win the AFC next year?
I think it's the Chiefs to lose.
Yeah, it's probably who's in your picture, Karen Ball Fortnite, most likely. Which is going to drive me nuts because I got to deal with all your fans on Reddit.
Eric's going to hop on the Chiefs Reddit.
Even when I defend all your
Hey, but
players,
that means
when they're going through shit.
that just means my YouTube channel is going to grow even more.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's all that
I mean,
means.
we're on kind of different wavelengths with Chiefs fan bases here. Like you're kind of on a good side. I'm on like I'm the
They
almost like an
hate
enemy.
you.
Chiefs Reddit. They don't like me at all.
But what's so weird is that like you defended Tyreek Hill. Like you were like, hey, let's chill on him, and they were like, this dude's a clown.
That's how much they just don't like me. That's not like I could go up to any of them and say your mother's a saint, and they'd be like,
this guy's
get out of my face. This guy's a loser. It's probably the shirt. I don't know if should I still wear this shirt?
Yeah. It's not like Brady didn't play for the Pats.
This is a good shirt. I don't know why I didn't sell that much.
That shirt should have sold.
Maybe I didn't market it enough, but it's a good damn shirt.
Chiefs, Ryan, I agree with you. The Chiefs cap space is going to be a problem. They just exercised fifth-year option on Mahomes, which is the smart move, but you got to sign him. You got to sign him. It's got to be a way. Mahomes, dude, he's on his 5th year right now. They got to resign.
What's he gonna demand? What's his contract gonna look like?
This is the biggest question that I have, is that it's like having a successful football team only works when everybody's willing to take a little bit less. And it's what happened with Brady. Brady for years was taking a little bit less and restructuring his contract, and that's what matters. And that's what's going to be so important for the Chiefs, is that it's like, dude, like Mahomes is going to get a massive deal. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like if he's willing to take a little bit of a pay cut so that they can keep certain people, then that's going to be the key. But if he's like, no, give me my 35 a year.
Yeah, I was going to say 35. I think it's going to be I think even somebody like him, I could see another team saying, hey, we'll give you 38-40.
No,
especially with like
that's the thing.
Yeah. So he's taking a cut at 35.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. And then that the Chiefs they're gonna have to eat that. Then what do you got with paying Sammy Watkins? How much is he getting paid for being a number 4 option? He's got a pretty good contract.
Dude, he restructured his this year. He was supposed to make like 13 mil. He restructured it. Eric's gone again. Why does he leave me when this happens? Jack Kelly. Do I think Joe Tooney could move to tackle? I don't think that they want him to move to tackle. Do I think he could? Absolutely. Tooney to me is a guard, and he's a top 3 in the NFL guard, and that's what you keep your best player at. Don't move him to tackle and create another issue. All you do is move the issues around at that point. Keep him at guard, keep him great at guard, which is what he does, and then go from there. Karen Bell, Ball Fortnite. No, we do not get paid for this. I wish we did. We're working on that. Hopefully soon. You never know.
I mean, we get paid in that's corny shit. I'm not even gonna say that.
Don't say it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were gonna say, but don't say it.
Mahomes will be 125 to 150 million.
He's gonna get a stupid amount of money, dude.
Yeah, he's worth it, man. I mean, if you're gonna pay a quarterback, you're gonna pay Patrick Mahomes.
He is.
You're gonna pay him. Dude, I think what's really impressive about him, which I hate to say, is I mean, the way that he handled the Super Bowl, even when they were down, it's like it's like you're playing basketball against a bunch of middle schoolers. You know, you're gonna come back. You're gonna come back and win. And that's what I feel like Mahomes. Just his character in that game was pretty impressive.
Yeah, Mahomes is. You always have a chance with Patrick Mahomes in the football game. You could be down 21. Dude, look at what happened with the Houston game this year. It's like they're down 24 points at the first or in this halfway through the second quarter. And I was with you guys. And I was like, I thought that I was pretty confident the Chiefs were still going to win.
You know what might derail him though? What actually might derail him is his brother putting up TikToks.
Jesus.
TikToks are weird. A lot of dancing, a lot of cringe-worthy stuff.
He's got to be getting some dough for that.
Yeah, he's got a lot of followers. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting. All right, what else you got? What do you want to talk about?
That was the biggie, man. We've been on for 50. I don't really have much else.
It's kind of all I got too.
You want to talk trash about people?
Like people in my life, or people just famous people?
Oh, any famous people.
Whoever I'm in the mood for.
Whatever you want.
I wonder what
Trash
Mahomes
about
gets
some
in
Instagram
endorsements.
people.
That's I mean, Brady. I mean, a lot of these dudes are making more money getting endorsements than they do in the regular contracts.
Mahomes has to have some freak endorsements when all's said and done.
Yeah. Gonna wait till Deshaun gets his new contract. And
Yeah,
top
but
it.
what's going to happen with Deshaun, though? I don't think Deshaun's going to stay. Deshaun's gone.
Yeah, but so he's on an option. Is it next year or did they pick it up this year? I think the team option is next year. So the team could pick up the option and then they could franchise him the next year.
Yeah, you could, but you're just delaying the inevitable.
How does the franchise tag work? It's an average of top 10 players
So,
at your
yeah,
position.
like that. And it's a 1 year, like it's basically a 1 year fully guaranteed contract, I think.
I think that's kind of a ridiculous rule.
Franchise, I don't like the franchise tag. I get the franchise tag, but I don't like the franchise tag.
Jerry Jones definitely made up the franchise tag. It was definitely owner.
It was like 1984. Jerry Jones was not going to be able to sign somebody, and he's like, "We're just going to franchise tag him."
What a way to pull the shade over a player and just what they, open market and what they want to do is just throw a tag on them. Like, no, you're not leaving.
Yeah,
you're staying here with us.
Literally, like a dog that wants to leave your house, and you're like, "Nope, you're staying with me now."
Everyone
Karen,
wants the Ravens.
I do not want the Ravens. Do not want the Ravens.
Is that your least favorite fan base?
Easily. Yeah. I don't know why though. Like I don't. Every Ravens fan I've met, I have not been a fan of. I've never met a Ravens fan who have been like, oh, they seem like Chiefs fans. I know a ton of Chiefs fans who I'm like, what's going on here? You got a third party?
I don't know. This thing is trash today. Absolute trash.
I don't know why I don't like the Ravens. I don't know.
They're garbage fans. I mean, they're known to be.
They seem like garbage fans.
When Patriot fans visit that stadium, you hear bad things all the time.
And I don't know. I'm just not a fan. Just not a fan of Baltimore. Love Ray Lewis and Ed Reed though. Love those guys.
By the way, in our Madden League, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh yeah, we have a Madden League if anybody wants to join.
Yeah, if anybody wants to play in our Madden League, we got I think 14 spots left. But Dennis made the point that I was playing with Lamar Jackson last night. He's like, I don't think Lamar Jackson should be allowed in the league.
Shouldn't be what? No, he's allowed. There's ways to stop Lamar Jackson. You just have to figure it out.
Because I was ripping off 40-yard runs every play.
That's because Dennis probably isn't spying anybody. He's just running cover 4.
Yeah.
And you're probably running 4 verts and everybody's running deep and there's nobody within 20 yards of you.
Is there a way to really stop Lamar Jackson in that game? Because just QB spy every time?
Just you gotta spy your mic and then I would spy 2 guys on Lamar every time.
Really?
100%.
What, your mic and then a free safety?
No, I would run nickel and I would spy both of my backers.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Jack, go. I have a swipe up option on my Instagram. It's the Hook Eric, and you can join there. All the details are there. It's PS4.
Do you have that link? Because we can hit the link in there.
In the comments?
Yeah, I can throw the link in the comments. Do you know where the link is?
Yeah, I got it. I'll throw it in there. 1 second. I'll throw it in there.
Least favorites, the Packers. Yeah, Bills fans are funny to me. Bills fans are just funny. I don't really see them as bad people. The Bills fans are just laughable to me. I think they're hysterical. Eric's a little bit of a Bills fan, actually.
I like the Bills.
Eric's
the Bills.
A Bills fan. The Packers fans, the diehard Rodgers Packers fans is so interesting to me. There you go, Jack Kelly. Hit that link, brother.
There's a link in the comments.
Karen, I agree with you. I'm not a big Texans fan either. Especially after the Pats lost last year. I don't know why it set me off.
I think Karen's 11 years old, and Karen's just throwing a bunch of teams in the comments.
Cowboys, Saints.
I respect it.
Oh, wait, he said Saints or Chiefs, or she said Saints or Chiefs. How do you get in the Madden League? We got that. What else we got? Steelers. Yeah, Steelers fans are, I don't know. I don't mind the Steelers.
I respect Steeler fans.
Yeah.
They're through thick and thin. They're good fans.
Yeah.
15. All right, let's wrap this up. I got nothing else to really add.
Same. I got nothing else. Hey, thanks for coming out, everybody who was out here. We'll have some clips popping out.
It wasn't looking hot early on. We had like 2 people in the room.
know.
I don't know if the internet interruptions were kind of stopping things, but
I think they were a little bit.
I'll order that Ethernet cable. So
thanks for coming out, everybody.
all right, guys.
Appreciate you. We'll be back.